1, 2, 3. Greetings, citizens of Thra. I am Tom.
I am Galen. We're on Thra now?
We're on Thra just for this episode.
Oh, crap.
Welcome to 15 Minutes of FUME. Alright, I know that people have been describing our current reality as the darkest timeline. However, this can't be true because this timeline did yield us, very recently, a The Dark Crystal prequel series.
Yeah.
Like, how...
And a new Fiona Apple album. It's not all bad.
It's not all bad. We have these two things. We loved the Dark Crystal series, the new one. What's it called? Dark Crystal. The Age of Resistance.
Age of Resistance.
Remember?
So if you have been resisting it, now is the age to not resist it. Or something.
One of the exciting things about this new series is that it expanded so much upon the Dark Crystal universe, and for example, all of the different Skeksis, the evil puppet critters in the original movie, all get to be characters who end up playing bigger parts in the action. And we at the lab had made Dark Crystal perfume blends. We have 4 perfumes for 4 different Skeksis. And I never really understood the difference in the characters, in the names. I hadn't read the book that
I didn't
came
even
out
know
after the movie.
A lot of them had names.
Exactly.
Except for Chamberlain.
Right.
But the series is cool because you really get to see how their whole system works, and just the rivalries and
Their
all of
wretched
these
personalities.
Each Skeksis thinks that their position is the most important, basically.
Some of them blow goo bubbles out of their noses.
Oh. Yeah.
So, anyway, someone had recently asked us online about the Dark Crystal perfume blends, and we realized that we had not done a video for them, which seems preposterous because we happen to have all 4 of them here with us in quarantine.
There's only 4. It's easy.
It should be easy. So just so you know, these perfume blends, the 4 of them, are really dark, intense fragrances. They're not cuddly, nostalgic creations meant that we've just slapped a label on to get you to buy them based on the movie. Our perfumer, Elizabeth, went all the way into the abyss to probe the Skeksis mentality and bring them to life in scent. And if you think that idea sounds terrifying, just wait until you smell the perfumes. So the 4 perfume blends that we have are SKEKNA, the slave master, SKEKTEK, the scientist, SKEKUNG, the GARTHIM master. The GARTHIM are those terrifying beetle warrior creatures that are what made me get dragged crying from the movie theater when I was a tiny child.
Oh, absolutely terrifying.
The first time they burst in and nabbed the Gelfling, I was done. My parents had to take me out of there. Let's smell SKEKNA, the slave master. The essence of vile gluttony, an abundance of spices, sweet cakes, thick creams, and opulent liqueurs mixed with the scent of whip leather and rusted padlocks. Oh. This is... From what I've smelled in the past, this is my favorite of the 4.
This is very sweet and spicy and creamy, but it is scary.
It's
It's gluttony.
It's a gourmand, but it's a terrifying gourmand.
Yeah.
It reminds me of something we do for a Clive Barker story, where there's a hedonism, but it's informed by cruelty and terror.
It is really nice, though.
Yeah, it's it's spicy and sweet and rich, but something in a cave at the same time.
It's creepy.
I'm not getting a strong leather. In the bottle, I'm mostly getting the spices and cakes. I'll say that. And then
I definitely get that metal note, though.
It keeps it from being comforting in the slightest.
Yeah.
Okay. And then next we have SKEKTEK, the scientist, who had a pretty big role in the prequel series, which I don't want to give any more spoilers than that. If you haven't watched it, everyone's complaining about what to rewatch on Netflix. Should I watch, Tiger King again? Should I watch Game of Thrones? No! If you didn't watch The Dark Crystal, you have to go and watch that. And then you can watch Dark Crystal, the series, Then you can watch the documentary on Netflix about the making of Dark Crystal, the series.
Also great.
And then you can watch the original movie, because in the continuity the story has been set up, and it will be a completely different experience. SKEKTEK the scientist is metal and stone and beams of dark light. Hyssop, black currant, black viola, passion flower, and myrrh. So it's definitely like a dark, very dark floral and fruity, but like the stone and metal is right there in the bottle.
Yeah, again, like prevents it from being like a comforting smell entirely.
It's like a rich, elegant perfume that you tripped and spilled while in a cave, and it's all over the place.
And now, are you in a jail cell? What's going on?
It actually weirdly does have a kind of a claustrophobic, like suffocating quality. It's just such a heady fragrance, and yet this, again, the metal and stone smells so much like confinement. It's very fascinating. I've never smelled anything quite like it. It weirdly is quite elegant. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever tried it on. I was a little scared too. Now we've got SKEKUNG, the Garthim master. Garthim. Brute force and destruction, vetiver, smoke, steel, and dragon's blood resin.
This is my favorite one of the Skeksis.
So of course vetiver, kapow, right in the nose, right out of the bottle. Smoke, steel, dragon's blood. Dragon's blood can be kind of sweet, and maybe it will sweeten up on the skin, but in the bottle it's really smoky and dry and frightening.
Something freshly burnt, but also a little sweet.
Yeah, it's like, it smells like weapons to me.
Yeah.
It definitely smells like warfare.
I know that on the skin, for me, it really does sweeten up with the dragon's blood, which is nice to have that to look forward to. So that you're not just like, is it always going to smell this like scary and smoky?
When a perfume is advertised as the first few words are brute force and destruction, I feel like you have to bring it, you know? Like I can't stand...
It really brings that darkness.
I can't stand themed fragrances and products where they've clearly just put a cool sounding name on whatever is on trend that they were just going to release anyway. Mm-hmm. And the lab really doesn't do that. We
commit.
Try to create something that is of the world that we are paying so much for the license for. And then finally we have SKEKZOK, the Ritual Master, which is an incense of deception, frankincense, opopanax, hyssop, champaka, and opium poppy accord. Which I have to say is, I think, the deepest, darkest
I can't really smell it.
Opium that I have smelled.
Oh, okay.
It really is like a blasphemous incense. The janitorial staff has been bribed to leave early, and now
to not ask questions.
Profane rituals may occur. They're never going to get the smell of the smoke out of the curtains. So yeah, like the frankincense is pretty strong forward in the bottle, but it's just slathered in darkness. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna put these on and see if it changes the essential nature of our spirits.
We might look a little different. Are we back?
We are back, and we smell like a third of the Skeksis Council.
Yeah.
I think my favorite Skeksis that they expanded upon in the new one was the Ornamentalist, which, by the way, what a title. The Ornamentalist.
Yeah.
I would love to become an Ornamentalist. And I would love to decide what that means. Okay, so perfumes. First things first. SKEKNA, the Slave Master. This is the one with the spices, sweet cakes, thick cream, liqueur, whip leather, padlocks. Go. Okay. Yeah, it has a metallic tang.
Yeah. Still like really sweet and yummy, but
sweet and creamy and spicy.
But the tang is really adding a scariness.
It really is. I honestly think that there's something about the idea of a slave master. Like, I was intimidated when I first saw this about the idea of even buying a perfume that had the word slave master in it. There's something really unsettling about making a like rich, enticing scent and then kind of like putting a spike through it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you just can't resist it, and also you cannot escape it. I would say that this is for, if anyone is like scared of these, this is the least scary one.
Yeah.
Out of the 4.
I agree. The most approachable on being a slave master.
Right. Second, we have SKEKTEK, the scientist, metal stone, beams of dark light, hyssop, black currant, black viola, passion flower, and myrrh. This is like an extremely evil sangria. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does kind of smell like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like served in a metal goblet. There's
right.
The metal.
Completely, yes. Like spilled across
evil sangria. It really does smell like
the floor of like the catacombs.
Because it's got that currant. So it's like the dark fruit and the passion flower. It's
right, and it's again like the currant and the passion flower makes you kind of want to lean in and breathe, and then as soon as you do, the essence is sucked out of your eyes, and that's it. That's the story of you.
Oh.
And that the metal and stone is just kind of like an undeniable like floor that you hit in it that keeps you from kind of like getting comfy. It's a kind of I really find these interesting because it's like it's an aggressive perfume vibe to put out there. You know, it's definitely a statement.
Yeah.
Now, SKEKUNG, the GARTHIM master. Brute force and destruction, vetiver smoke, steel, dragon's blood resin.
Right now it's mostly vetiver smoke. It's like a vetiver bundle on fire.
I definitely smell the dragon's blood on the skin coming up. It's like like a layer of paint that the fumes are like rising up off of.
The drier it gets, from what I've learned with this one, is that the more the dragon's blood creeps out.
Yeah, it's already sweeter.
But the smoke in the vetiver is kind of intense at first. And it reminds me of something, but I can't figure out what.
The one that it reminds me of is called Rhinotoros, which is from the BPAL world. Oh, it's the first thing that comes up. From 2010. That was a vetiver white pepper patchouli grapefruit.
Well, that makes sense.
But it's mainly because the intensity of the vetiver and the lack of relief afforded by the other notes.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a vetiver junkie, then this is like home to you, and the dragon's blood will just mellow it out and not diminish the experience in the slightest.
Yeah.
And the fourth one we have is SKEKZOK, the ritual master, the incense of deception, frankincense, apopanax, hyssop, champaka, and opium poppy accord, which I'm wearing too much of.
I'm smelling more of the champaka.
You know, I am too now that you say it. I was trying to figure out what that was. I mean, it's still a really deep opium blend.
Yes.
And I'm not getting as much frankincense on the skin as I was in the bottle. So it definitely is a smoother blend of all of these ingredients.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, there's like a deep, dark profanity to it that I can't shake. Like it's a perfume of lingering dread.
Yeah.
Something bad will happen. But that's like what I want people to think when they smell me sometimes. It's like you're the that butterfly with the eye spots.
Oh, yeah.
That the birds won't touch. Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. Oh boy. It is fascinating how these feel like fantasy perfumes from another universe. I just love that so much. Has anyone else watched the series? We can't be alone in this. Please don't let us be alone in this. Every time a new person that I know watches this show, though, I get so excited because I know there are like points in the series where I'm like, okay, well, this is gonna happen, and
can't wait for that phone call. Yeah, and they're
exactly.
Like, oh my god.
Oh my god, what am I watching? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just really special. So that's all the time we have for today because the show is called 15 Minutes of Fume. Not 17 minutes of fume, not 8.5 minutes of fume, although, sometimes that's all we have to say. Thank you for supporting us. We have over 800 followers on YouTube now, thanks to this series. Keep them coming, folks. We want that sweet YouTube money. Someone's got to get it. Might as well be us. And if you're watching this on Instagram, thank you so much. I know that you're probably living on Instagram right now, like we are. Just here to brighten your day.
Take care of your eyes.
Please take care of your eyes. Like maybe like a warm washcloth, at night before you go to bed, just, to keep things.
Now go, smell.
Don't scrub, just compress. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.